Of all the topics, phrases in the world that you could write about, how do you know what to write about next? Well, Market Trends from Inlinks is partially free, partially paid, and you can find a lot of information about different topics and ideas and find out which ones are trending, which ones are going up and going down. Now, you get to see all the marketing categories for free anyway. If you sign up, then you start to get the summaries of stuff. So I'm not even logged in here, and I'm getting some numbers. But let's show you what happens when you sign up for or log into a paid account, and do a little bit of analysing from there. Okay, so I'm logged in now, and the first thing that's different here is that if you've been tracking things in a dashboard, you start to create a bunch of ideas. But let's go down and do an example for something that even free users can use, and have a look in the marketing category. I'm going to decide what to write about today. And so we're tracking 870 different topics or ideas within the marketing trends category. And this table of contents basically relates to things on this page. So you can go down and have a look at all 870 ideas and see what the scores are doing day by day, whether they're going up, whether they're trending up or trending down, and you can pull in different ideas from different sectors. So we've got marketing and advertising, sales, or about the marketing trends report, some information about the report itself. But at the top here, we have the main trends that are growing. So I can just have a look down here and think, you know what? I could probably talk about strategic management or marketing mix or target markets. What could I talk about in here? And I'm thinking, well, maybe I could talk about how content can be part of your marketing mix, and how you can change your content audit. That's trending upwards nicely, and so that's a nice little trend. You can see the grey line there, a sort of trend. What can happen with a lot of things is they go up and down very, very quickly. So if I just go back again and choose a different one, let's have a look. Let's look at our friends at SEMrush, for example. They've had a nice ping. So they seem to have done something very, very significant recently, which is creating a big increase, which is kind of really interesting. But the numbers are smaller, but then that's because it's a specialist product rather than a generic idea. And some of these things tend to have spikes, particularly sort of when brands coming out. So I've never really heard of the concept of aspirational brand, but here you can see a spike and then it goes back down again. And that's usually related to a news article. So yeah, I could use the news feed to have a look and see what's happened there. That links to Google News to just try and see the underlying thing. But I think I would like to have a look more about marketing mix. And so I can have a look down here and say, yes, that's a little bit of a trend. What are the numbers like? 6,000 a day, that's sort of rising up to 8,000 or 9,000 a day. So that sounds pretty good. You can see it sort of going up by week. So it's business to business as well. Sort of drops at the weekend. And then I can get an idea of what I might want to write about, because I can see the questions that people are asking around the concept of marketing mix. You know, how does it work? Why is it different from marketing mix of goods? Why is that different to marketing mix of services? Why is marketing mix defined as marketing mix? That's probably a little academic for me. They're okay here. But if I look at the related topics, market research itself looks like it's got much higher numbers. It's in the 30,000 a day. So it's also growing. So let's have a look at marketing research. Maybe that's a better thing for me to do. So these numbers are going up. So it's 30,000 around about a week really. But these numbers are definitely going up, and it's a more sustained growth. So I think I should really talk about how content can play a part of your market research, and how you can research other people's content and your own content using tools like Inlinks. So that might be a good thing to talk about. I can have a look again and say, well, okay, I should be talking about things like small businesses. I don't really need to talk about Toyota. What kind of questions have we got in here? PR, that's good within SEO. Neuromarketing, I could talk about that actually if I wanted to. Starting ventures, there's a lot of people starting ventures during COVID, so that's a pretty good idea. So actually writing about how to use Inlinks for some market research might be a really good idea. I can just check to see whether this this is a single off news story, but I don't really need to. I mean, I'll just show you what news is going on with marketing research. So fourth source talking about time to double down, time to redefine. So there's a lot of generic underlying conversations and news stories about marketing research to try and which is increasing the interest in the subject matter. So this seems like a good one to go for, and so I'm gonna put that into my dashboard. So the next time I log in, I can do that, and I'm just going to create a content about this topic. Now I'm primarily in the UK, so I'm going to choose that. I'm going to make the key phrase that I'm targeting to be marketing research. Now, I wonder if I've already got some content that I could adapt within Inlinks that might be good. So if I go back to Google and type in marketing research, Inlinks.net. And take that out of Google News. So I'll put in marketing research site inlinks.net into Google and have a search. And I can see that I've already got some stuff about primary search trends, which I could talk about, but I could certainly refer to some of these things. I'm talking about this actual reporting tool, so that's grand, but I haven't got a good candidate for talking about marketing trends. So if I did, I could put that into my into here, and then I could adapt that. But what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to create this content and not compare it against anything else. I'm going to write the marketing research content from scratch. So I'll just click this. It then brings in the best content that's out there, looks that up on Google API for the UK for marketing research to find out what results are coming back. It runs a natural language processing algorithm over that to understand the underlying entities and concepts that are coming back for the phrase marketing research, so that it can create a content brief for me to go and write about marketing research. And this is a great way for us to investigate what we should be writing about next. And I'll be putting this out into this post, and since I'm recording the video, I'll put the video out into the post as well. And then I'll just explain what I'm going to be doing with this. So I'm going to then take this content and say, right, these are the concepts I need to talk about: analysis. What does analysis mean? It means this concept of marketing research, and I see the ideas I want to talk about. I've got a knowledge graph down here of the competitors, what the competitors are talking about. I can go in and have a quick look at what the competitors are talking about as well, and see who these guys are. Mintel's in there. They're also all work very well known, so that's grand. University of Birmingham. Well, that's interesting. I went up to did my MBA up in Birmingham, so I can maybe pull something in from there, and so I can then have a look at some of these ideas. If I wanted to, I can actually have a look at some of these and see what I need to be talking about. So nothing particularly on the first one, even though it's ranking for #1. I don't think that's very good, and that's because it's the Marketing Research Society, so it's not really a very good one. Better would be something like I don't know, let's choose another one that's ranking for marketing research, and see if we can get something that I can have as a better competitor. So marketresearch.com, that sounds a very good page. So let's have that. So I'm going to actually change my database and put marketresearch.com into my system instead of the society, because I think the society is talking about the wrong kinds of things from my perspective. So then I can have a look. The number of topics has changed because we've changed the actual underlying knowledge graph that we're analysing against. So now when we go in here, we can see marketresearch.com in there and see what they're talking about. They're talking about, that's their homepage, so it's okay. I can just click down here and see if we can find some really interesting stuff to talk about. We can talk about the power of improvised marketing. That's interesting. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not so happy about all of these things. I should think I could write something better on marketing research than the stuff that's already ranking. So how to use marketing research on the web. I could write a pretty good article, I think. So I'm going to go down here and then have a look at the questions that we found around the concept of marketing research. So can small business afford to ignore social media? That's a really good question I can talk about. I may give that up because it's not particularly relevant to Inlinks, but I think it is a good conversation piece. These are there's all sorts of questions that are coming in here. Let me drill down to the ones that are specifically about market research. So how is it conducted? How is it done? How market research companies work? Not so much. I'm more interested in how it's useful for startups and for businesses. Why is it important? Of course, I need to talk about that. How can it reduce the risks of a new product launch? So it's a risk reduction. That's a good idea. So then we can come up with lots of other questions, and I can also put in a keyword here and start generating more questions. But it's enough for me to be getting on with. I could, if I want, use this as my starting brief, so I could just give this to somebody. But I'm going to just get into my editor and start typing from here. If you have a free account, you can still use this, but only once, I think. So you would need a paid account to be able to use this more than once. Time, but I'm going to use that to create my content, and you'll see my content on the blog, and we'll see how it goes.